Hey, y'all. Listen, y'all done popped on in here. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to send this thing out like I typically do. Hold on 1 second, y'all. It did not storm. Honestly, I don't even think it was canceling schools. It wasn't as bad. It was not as bad as, like, they made it out to seem. Now, we did get some rain, some heavy rain. The sirens did go off. It was windy. But y'all, it wasn't as bad as what they said it was gonna be. Now it's a little bit cool today. Y'all know I have to give y'all the weather report. It's a little bit cooler today. It's not like freezing to where, I can blow and see my breath. But yeah, it wasn't as bad, as they made it seem. Y'all, it wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't. And that is a different revelation. I think people try to play God. They are not really accurate. They are not really dependable. They just not. I'm going to say that again. Sometimes, the weather people try to play God. I pray I'm not freezing. Am I freezing? I don't think I am. But yeah, sometimes, the weather people try to play God. Scientists try to play God. And, it's just, they be wrong. They be wrong a lot of times, They be wrong a lot of times. And so our declaration on this morning is the proof is in the pattern. Like, God has already factored whatever your situation, he's already factored it in. I'm going to say that again. The proof is in the pattern. The proof is in the pattern. Hey, Miss Allen. I'm going to say it again. The proof is in the pattern. God has already factored your specific circumstance in your needs, and he's already factored it into the equation of your life story. He's already nothing goes unnoticed. Nothing goes like, unfactored in by God. I don't even think that that's a word, but I just made it one. Y'all get what I'm saying? The proof is in the pattern, right? I woke up this morning. I slept I slept so good. I want to say this is probably like the first night that, like, I actually slept good with my dogs all up under me. Why they want to be all up under me, y'all, I just do not know, but I slept like a baby, right? So I woke up this morning, and I'm just like, Lord, I needed this money that just, I forgot about all the small bills that I had. I paid the major ones. I forgot about all the small bills. I'm like, I had plans for this. I had plans for this. I got to get this done today, that done today. You want to know God's response to me? Because I think that we've all been at a point where we've been blindsided, right? How many people can say that you've been blindsided, or you had plans for, let's just say, finances, and then, it goes, something unexpected happens that may eat up that money, or, you don't get the opportunity, like everybody has, right? And so I'm thinking about that, like, okay, God, I have to go get my hair touched up today. I'm pretty sure my coach is sending my new diet today. Like, I had all of these different thoughts. And you want to know what God told me? He said, I factored in the things that were not even a thought to you. So what makes you think I don't have you right now? I'm going to say that again. You want to know his response to me? Because I felt blindsided. I forgot about all these bills. I felt like I was going to pay them when I wanted to pay them. They were minor bills, little bills. You know what he told me? He said, I already factored that. I factored in what you were not factoring in. I factored it in. And because of the fact that I factored that in, he told me, like, what makes you think I don't have you right now? And then he ended the phrase with saying, check my resume. He said, check my resume. As humans, our tendency is to focus on the things that we deem are the most important. And a lot of times when we only factor in the things that we deem are most important, right? We tend to overlook the small details. But how many people know that God is in the details? How many people know that he's in every single detail of your life? And I knew that when God told me that this morning, and I'm going to get into to what he's showing me now, right? But I knew that when God told me, he responded that way. I knew that so many words he said, stop worrying of how I'm getting to get done today. Stop worrying about that. And when I say like literally, like the bills covered the little excess that I had left over from like paying the larger bills, am I still breaking up? I shouldn't be breaking up. Am I breaking up for anybody else? Am I breaking up for anybody else? The devil don't want somebody to get this word, right? But I knew that what God was saying in so many words was stop worrying. Stop worrying. Somebody tell your neighbor, stop worrying. Stop getting your panties in a bunch because you are blindsided with something that you didn't see coming. And the thing about it is, just because we don't see it coming doesn't mean that God doesn't. He knew it was coming. He knew the unexpected bill was going to hit. He knew that, come on, those things with your car were going to happen. He knew. He knew how it was going to play out. And it's like even now, like God is reminding me like of a specific time in my wilderness, right? And during this time, I was very depressed. I was struggling with depression and anxiety at the same time. And so, you know, there was this one day where I was talking to a woman, and you want to know, I know that it was God. You know what she told me to do? She said, maybe you should try. And I've used this strategy ever since. She said, maybe you should try. She told me two things to do. She said, the first thing, you know, that you need to do is write down 5 things every single day that you're grateful for. She said, and the next thing that she gave me homework, she said, and I've used it ever since, right? I didn't come up with that strategy. It was given to me, and it worked for me. And so she told me, she said, the next thing, like I think that like would help you get out of this space. She said, make a list of all the things you are worrying about, right? And then make another list of all the things that you see God do for you. She said, do this for like, you know, do this for, I want to say it was like 9 or 10 days. I want to say it was 9 days. Do it for like 9 days. And so like I wrote down my little thing, my little list, right, of what I was worrying about. It was probably 5 big things. And I guarantee that like those of you guys, if you did this, you wouldn't even have a lot of things. You would strategically list the things that are the most important to you, right? And so I made that list. And over the next 7 days, like it's in my journal. I wrote down every single thing that God did. I didn't care if somebody gave me $5. I didn't care if somebody got me food. I was writing it down. I was writing every single thing down. And you want to know something? I didn't even make it to the 9th day or whatever day it was, because by the 3rd or 4th day, I looked at that list because I was running out of space of all the things that God was doing for me. And it encouraged me to such a degree, because in doing that, I learned that God, the things that I am worrying about are nothing. I learned that one, I was overlooking the small needs. Because on that list, God was meeting needs that I didn't even know that I needed. He was taking care of the things that were not even on my radar. And in that season, it gave me hope that God, if you're doing these things that I ain't even thinking about, then it's only a matter of time before you handle the things that are of a great concern to me. And I believe that that is what God is saying to us on today. The smallest details in your life story, in your journey, I'm covering it all. And the thing about it is, we have no need to feel blindsided. We don't even have a reason to feel blindsided when we know who our Father in heaven is. Nothing catches him off guard. I don't know who needs to hear this. Nothing catches God off guard. Check his resume. You know, a resume shows a resume shows your qualifications. It shows, what you've done in the past. God is saying, check your resume. Check what I've done for you in the past. Check what I've done for you in the past. Because I'm the same God right now that I was back then. And if I did it, come on, in the past, what makes you think I won't do it now? This is for somebody. Check his resume. When you really think about it, not only do we not have a reason, right, to feel blindsided, but we don't even really have a reason to be feeling as down and out as some of us have been feeling. Check his resume. The proof is in the pattern. The proof is in the pattern. He don't move any differently. He always comes through. That's the pattern. You go through a phase, you might be stressed, but at the end of it, right before you break, what happens? God shifts it. He comes through. God straight up told me. And these were just thoughts that I was having this morning. Man, I didn't expect that bill to come out now. I don't have what I need to, get my hair touched up. I had those concerns, right? I had those concerns. God straight up told me in so many words, check my resume. Just because you didn't factor it in don't mean I didn't. Just because you didn't think that this was going to happen doesn't mean that it caught me off guard. Stop worrying. Stop worrying. The Bible encourages us so many times to not worry. It ain't just written one time in the Bible. We see it over repeated in the Bible to not worry. To not worry about the next day. Right? To not worry how we gonna get fed. To not worry about anything but that God provides. The Bible tells us that over and over and over again. It tells us not to be anxious. Anxiety and worrying are one and the same. They're the same thing. Because when you're anxious, it's only because you are at the root of it is worry. You're worrying about something that has yet to happen. Stop worrying. Whew. God says, I need to say that again. Stop worrying. God already factored it in. He factored that specific circumstance in. He's factored every single thing that's going to happen in this season, every single thing that happened. He factored it all in. And guess what? It doesn't change his faithfulness. It doesn't change his character. It is factored in. And that's the word this morning. Check his resume. Somebody just tell your neighbor, at your neighbor and tell him, hey, check his resume. Check God's resume. He ain't never lost. Check his resume. Check his resume. Check his resume, Fisha. Check his resume, Stephanie. Check his resume, Miss Allen. Check his resume, Miss Willette. Check his resume. He's more than qualified, more than capable, more than qualified, and more than capable. He specializes in miracles. He specializes in breakthroughs. He specializes, come on, in comebacks. He specializes in it. Check his resume. I need to see y'all typing that in on the screen. Check God's resume. Check his resume. There's a reason why God is telling me to tell y'all to say that. Check his resume. There's a reason why he's saying tell them at their neighbor and encourage their neighbor. You're not the only person struggling with worry. I'm going to say it again. You ain't the only person struggling with worry. You ain't the only person that's been blindsided. Come on. There's a reason why he's giving these specific instructions. At your neighbor and tell him, check God's resume. And that in itself is a revelation in itself. A lot of times God will tell us to do something, right? And we alter what God is telling us to do. We alter it. We alter it. Do not alter in this season, in any season. Don't alter the instructions that God gives you. Do not alter them. Don't do it. Don't alter his instructions. Amen. So listen, that's it. There are at least 7 people that need to sow seed into this word. The seed title is check God's resume. Some of y'all may be watching this thing on the replay. Don't feel like because you checking it on the replay that you cannot sow seed into this word. Some of y'all are here right now. There are 2 ways for you guys to sow. You can sow via paypal.me/thoughtsbyt, or you can sow via the Cash App using $ Thoughts by T. That is it. That's it. Again, the seed title, I pray that I'm not freezing, is check God's resume. Am I freezing? Because I am driving. Am I freezing? Am I freezing? Okay. But the seed title is check God's resume. I want to say today's goal is around $35. That would allow for me to do everything that I need to get done on this morning. And so that is where the funds are. That is the goal for today. So that's it, y'all. That is it. If you know you need to sow, obey God. I'll say it again. If you know you need to sow, obey God. Do I have anyone that needs to be sown for? I heard no, but I have to ask just to be sure. Do I have anyone that can sow for Stephanie Palmer? Do I have anyone that can sow for Stephanie Palmer and Miss Allen? Amen. Okay, so listen, that's it, y'all. If you need prayer for anything or have a testimony to share, prayer.thoughtsbyt@gmail.com is the way to do it. Listen, some of y'all need to watch this broadcast from the very beginning and let it marinate. Let it marinate in your spirit on this morning and all throughout the day. And so I love y'all. I'm rooting for you guys. And so listen, until next time, y'all. Peace.